Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today I'm doing another box opening, this time of Marvel Superheroes RPG from TSR, 1984. So just to give you a little bit of my personal gaming history with this game, I have virtually zero personal history with this game. In other words, I did not play it back in the early 1980s. Uh, in the early 1980s, the superhero game that we were playing in my gaming group was Villains and Vigilantes, and we had tried Champions, but we weren't big fans of that system, and so we stuck with V and V. So why did I pick up this box set? Because as I said in my previous video, I'm a bit of a completionist. I wanted to get all of the TSR role playing game box sets that I could, um, and so far that includes everything from basically 1978 forward. The reason why I don't have Gamma World, which is the last one that I have to get, is that I haven't found it in the right price range for myself. And then the other reason is that the other is the original white box of D&D, which, to be honest with you, I can't see spending $300+ for it, unless I suddenly come into a windfall of money where it's like, okay, now I will get it. But other than that, probably not. So that aside, so my history with the Marvel superheroes game is that I hadn't played it, but I do hear very often about the real pluses to this system here, and it is extremely popular. There is an expanded box set of this, which I did not get, and I'll explain why I didn't get the expansion. When I'm buying a box set of a game I didn't play, I try to get the earliest edition that I can afford to pick up. When I'm getting a box set that I did play, or any RPG that I did play back then, I try to get the edition that I actually started playing. That's why with like D&D, I started playing D&D with my friend's Holmes edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and that's why I bought that box set. Now, the first box set that I had owned was the Magenta box set, which is why I picked that up as well. So that's kind of my buying. I just ruined my eye. That's kind of the reason why or how I go about making these purchases. The other thing that I look for, obviously, is, for price and condition and such. And so this particular box set, over the others, I was able to buy it now, and I was able to get it for a price that I thought was reasonable. So this is the box opening, so let's start taking a look at the box itself and its contents. Oh, wrong screen. So, so here we go, and you can see that the cover is I knew from the pictures, although they were not as close up as some others. I knew from the pictures that there would be some indentation and such on the cover. There are tears on these corners here, which I can easily tape up on the inside. When you're taping these, you tape them on the inside. And I'm not looking to resell this. This is just something that I'm going to put on a shelf and and have it there to complete a portion of a collection, rather than extensively playing it, or and certainly not looking to resell it. So, not terrible. Like I said, I might have mentioned I paid $43 for this, so it's certainly within the realm of I'm satisfied with what I got so far, at least, just looking at the content of the or the condition of the box. So this is the Marvel Heroes Battle Book. Now, you can see here, because I saw it right away, is that it's using the D100 system, and it has like a graduated critical hit zone, and up here in the white is the failure. So I guess if you're class 1000, that's your shift here, then anything basically above 75 is going to be critical. So it does progressively go up at the lowest end. So if you're zero shift, and I'm not quite sure what these things mean yet, but I eventually will. So here's the battle book, and I'll do a flip through of the books after I go through the box contents. So here's a campaign book. Once again, the thing is on the back. The charts are on the back. The campaign book is quite long, 48 pages long. That includes the index. And the book itself is in pretty, I would say very, very good condition. I mean, you could see here along the edges and everything, the staple and the binding is good. Let's actually see the staple on the inside. There's a tiny, tiny bit of rusting on the staple on the inside, but not very much at all. The artwork is very standard comic book artwork. So nothing less than you normally see, and nothing outstandingly like wow kind of stuff. But we have some of the most well known figures in Marvel superhero-dom. Here we have Spider-Man and the Hulk and others. So the Beast. Yeah, so they have basically you have the you have a section here, looks like examples of character creation and such. So we'll take a look at that as well. Now, I knew from the photos on the on eBay that it only had one die, and there it is. And looking at other photos, I can tell that there's supposed to be a blue and a green. And looking at this one here, this obviously the blue dye is present. And I knew the counters were already removed, so it's not in that kind of uncut condition that they. That's usually a big selling point. We have the official game adventure by Day of the Octopus by Bruce Nesmith. Actually, who wrote the rules? Let's see. Credits. Designed by Jeff Grubb. Co-creators are written by Steve Winter. So Jeff Grubb and Steve Winter. I think this might be the first written by Jeff Grubb. I have to go back and look at the original Gangbusters and see. He might have wrote Gangbusters as well. I'll check that out. But here's the official game adventure. So this is the one that comes with the box set. It doesn't have a folder, so I'm hoping that this is not missing the the folder, the cover page, but probably not. It was not listed as incomplete. I would have never bought it if it were incomplete, but I'll have to do some checking out and making sure. But this looks like just an adventure booklet, and then a map of looks like building interiors and such. The brand, the Hunt Club, the Cash Mall. The map side is interiors. And what's the other side? I'll do the full opening up here and take a look. It's like a park. I usually don't go through all this trouble of opening it up all the way. I guess it is opened up all the way. So some building interiors and some more building interiors. But anyway, kind of cool. I don't use maps, and minis all that much. So, and I probably just folded this wrong, but I don't use maps and minis all that much. So I'm not so concerned about, I want to have them obviously, but I'm not concerned about using them. Let's take a look at these two rule books in a little bit more detail. And let's put this over here. And let's switch screens. The battle book and the campaign book. I wonder which one. This one's probably the player. So let's take a look at the player book first. I'll let that catch up, if it will. Let me click this. There we go. So the book you are holding in your hands is the battle book, the first part of Marvel Superheroes game. The Marvel Superheroes game is a role-playing game. As players, you pretend to be your favorite Marvel comics superhero, using the superpowers to fight deadly foes like the Hobgoblin, Viper, and Dr. Octopus. You can be the Thing, Captain America, or even me, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Okay, the Marvel Superheroes game is divided into 3 books: the battle book you're reading now, the campaign book, and the adventure book. You also get a sheet of dazzling counters and a swell map with central New York City on one side and some building interiors on the other. I guess I didn't flip that over right to see New York City. Or maybe that was the other side with the map of what appeared to be Central Park then. Reading on, the rule book describes superheroes and their powers, how they fight bad guys. So that's the battle book, remember. And let's see, before playing the game, one player has to read this rule book. Don't memorize the rules, just read them and get a general idea of what's going on. It uses the D100 system. What is a superhero is here, and then what is the rank system? Let's see, the rank numbers and descriptions. Far below human ability is feeble. Poor is below human. Average human ability. Average human ability is typical. That's a 6. 1,000. All the way at the top is beyond human ability to comprehend. Unearthly is 100, the limit of human ability to describe and understand. All right, so humans go from a 2 to a 100, basically, and you're considered quite amazing, interestingly enough, at 50. Highest rank possible for anything considered human. 75 is beyond the realm of humanity. Okay, so it doesn't look like that the stats are going to be very, very high. Let's see if we get some material strength. So feeble is cloth, glass, brush, and paper. Let's see what's remarkable. Reinforced concrete, Incredible as solid stone or vibranium. Monstrous diamond, heavy super alloys. There's moving on the map. It's clobbering time. That's the thing. We have weapons here. Weapons have a set point of damage that they do. 6 points, 10 points, 20 points for a shotgun. Range is only 3. 2 hands to fire. I don't see anything about character creation. Let's see, maybe that's in the campaign book. So let's take a look. Chapter Heroes. Power rosters, fighting, ability, agility, fighting, agility, strength, endurance, reason, intuition, psyche, variable abilities, health, hardware, vehicles moving. Yeah, so this is the system where they kind of describe the abilities, and then they kind of give examples where they fall within those abilities. That's kind of cool. That's pretty decent how they show. So unearthly strength is like the Hulk, Thor, and Wonder Man. All right, more than 80 tons is they're able to lift. All right, that's pretty impressive. Endurance, intuition, psyche. Variable abilities are health, resources, other cost, popularity ranks, magic, system, hardware. So there are vehicles, there's moving, and such. I haven't seen a character sheet yet, so I'm still wondering if it has a system of... It has a system of showing examples of how, talents and such, but oh, there it is. So here's the character sheet. I was going to say I don't see any system of character creation per se, just descriptions of things. But yes, you can make your own character, so that's pretty much an imperative. Let's see. What do they have coming up in the time? And yeah, let's just say, when was this written? Yeah, 1984. So I'm glad I have the right year down. But anyway, so that looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm fairly happy with what is here. I've got a few things to check out. Um, as I said, it has one of its 2 original dice, so I was kind of expecting that. And the box is a little bit beat up, but not terrible. And the books look like they're in fine condition, or if not better. They just have that old book smell, so but not a smoky smell, so that's always a positive as well. So once again, another decent purchase. I'm happy with it, and it will go on my shelf. I know there's a lot of people that are still huge fans of this game system, and so I certainly will look to see if I can, jump in on someone's game and actually play it. Um, and I know that there's an expanded version of this, which is probably the one that they do use more often. But as I said, I like to get the original and mess around with that a little bit first before I mess around with the expanded. But hey, once again, another decent looking game from TSR. And if you're like me or thinking about going into the hobby where you want to start looking at some of the older products that really did define the hobby back in the early 1980s or even the late 70s, then you can still find some bargains out there on online and get your hands on some of the original stuff, which is always it's always a lot of fun to look at, a first edition of a game that's 35 plus years old, and then looking to see how it has evolved over time. Um, so that's always that's an interesting thing as as a fan of the hobby, as a longtime DM, as a longtime player. I do get nostalgic even about the games that I never played back in the day. I do get nostalgic about just getting my hands on them. So once again, thanks for joining. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those in the comments and questions section. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. As you can tell, if you just look through my channel and look through the channel's archive of videos there, I have a wide-ranging taste in game genres and game companies out there. So I don't really shy away from any games. I like to look at them and make judgments for myself, whether or not they are, a good product, whether or not they're playable, or, just whether or not they are. I've very rarely come across a game where I said, you know what, I really don't enjoy this, and I probably never play it. Um, there's been only a few, and I don't think I have very many videos that are focused on them. But again, thanks for joining. I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen sometime soon, and you all be safe and healthy out there, and you all have a great rest of the week. Take care.